it's not often, working for the civil service, you get to celebrate these sort of things. So it's, when I was invited, I didn't sort of hesitate to say thank you very much indeed. So I am delighted to be here, and I didn't realise that we're going to be so many numbers and so much success. But I suppose in a way, what a celebration that is. And I think you'd all agree that it comes at a quite exciting time for the town and the district. I've been in my job for 4 years working for Public Health England, and that's specifically to do the community engagement in Harlow, so that you know what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it, and why we chose Harlow, and also hopefully the benefits of us coming here. And as I was doing that, as I was researching that, because I didn't know a thing about the town, and that's quite good, because I wanted a complete blank canvas to work from. And initially I was like a sponge in a way, working with the team to soak up. And what struck us was really what was going on, the potential there was for the town. And you just had to look at some of the things that were planned for the town, whether that was the science park, whether that's a new junction, and since then, the focus on the town centre as well. And we were at a meeting the other week as well about the possibilities of a new hospital. And then us as well. So exciting time for Harlow, but also an exciting time for us, because the move here means an enormous amount to us. It really does. And just very quickly, because I have promised not to, I could talk for hours, and we could do all the awards in 5 minutes at the end, but that's not really what we have. That quiet room, I think, would be full, wouldn't it by then? So, no, that's not quite, but we needed to move Public Health England. We employ 5,500 people across the whole of the country in different areas and different regions. And 2 of the centres that we have are aged, they're coming to the end of their life, and we need to move. So they're coming here, and that involves something in the region of 2,000 people. And then shortly after that decision was taken, we also decided that the headquarters was moving out of London and was coming here as well. So this will be the headquarters for a national government agency, which is quite a mark, that's quite a flag on the map, it really is. And I think you'll find it's a blueprint as well for what happens with other government agencies, because why on earth do we need to be in a 7-storey building in the middle of London that's worth a small fortune, when we could come out here and make a real difference, hopefully, to a town like this. And there is a blueprint that's being driven through government at the moment, and that other agencies are under pressure to do that. So that's one of the reasons for coming. The plans themselves, we will have, I'm sure you're familiar with the GSK building that we're moving into, 40 acres roughly. Incredible building, absolutely incredible. The build, and people who have been round and been on the tour of it, it's been empty for 7 or 8 years, and it looks as though the fire alarm's gone off, everybody's gone out, and nobody's come back in again. There were literally desks, tables, chairs, you name it, they're all there. So the quality for us is incredible. And just to build a building like that would cost something in the region of £100 million for us. So we've saved that, we've saved the government that, although we've saved the taxpayer as well, because obviously we're a government agency, so we've done that. We want to create, quite simply, one of the best facilities in the world. It will be it'll be the largest in Europe, and at the moment it will be the 2nd largest in the world. Guess who's got the biggest? The Yanks. Yeah, sorry, are there any Americans in here tonight? Yeah, and we can't compete. We can't compete with the amount of money that's been given into that. But you know, the biggest in Europe, and you look at Germany and France and Italy and some of those places, that's what we will be creating there. And we are creating it. I went on an engagement at one of the schools a while ago, and they've asked me to go back and speak at the parents' evening, and they said, can you tell them it's coming? Because they say it's not going to happen, because that sort of thing doesn't happen in Harlow. I said, well, of course there will. So if any of you are there, we are coming, and it does happen in Harlow, along with those other things that I mentioned there. And we've got outline planning permission. We have to put more detail in at the moment. And the first staff, because the amount of work that needs to be done there, the first staff won't move in until probably 2021 at the earliest. There's an enormous amount that we need to do in demolition and construction, and some of the buildings take 2 years to build. But we've not waited. And we've already started building the links, particularly with local education establishments, whether it's schools, colleges, or universities. We've signed 3 memorandums of understanding, which explores how we can work with local youngsters to be our workforce of the future. And I genuinely mean that. And it's not just scientists. You know, we're not all dressed in a white coat with mad hair. Yeah, right. Okay. But we don't. About half of the people working at the site will be scientists. But we also need an enormous amount of support staff there as well. Whether that's legal, finance, HR, communication for dining, marketing. And then you need everything else to support that. We need catering, we need security, we need maintenance, we need gardening. We need all of that. And we're also working with Harlow College around how we employ local youngsters, whether it's at apprenticeship level or again, older adults, in the construction. Because there is a formula around construction which is based on the size and the spend, and it's about a £450 million spend at today's prices. By the time we actually come down to it, I'm sure that will rocket. But there could be something, and this is not, it won't just be in the local community, but throughout the construction chain, there could be up to 10,000 jobs created by this scheme. That's suppliers and all of those things. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the sheer scale of what we're coming here. And establishing those links is very important to us because we know not all our staff are going to come. We don't know the exact figures, but we know they're not going to come. But right the way across all of those disciplines that I've mentioned earlier, we know that we're going to have to recruit. And we don't want to turn up at this incredible building, open the door and say, well, hang on a minute, where's all the communications people? Because they haven't come with us. So we need to be planning that on our best way of doing that. And that's not just for now, but that's for the future, because as people leave and retire, the employment we'll look for is at a local level. So we would start at a local level. So we've been particularly driven by the engagement that we need to do with the schools. And that starts at primary school as well. Because what's come back to us is, can you engage primary school youngsters in science earlier on, so when they go to secondary schools, they've got that interest, they've got that, and we are looking at that. And we have outreach teams that do that, which is another thing that we've done already. Bear in mind, we're not coming for probably 3 years. We set up a teaching laboratory, a training laboratory, and an outreach laboratory at Harlow College, where the outreach will be based whilst we build our campus. So enough from me. I hope that gives you a bit of a flavour. And it's important to stress, and it came from our chief executive. He said, our role in Harlow, I'll sum it up, and he's got a great way of doing this. He said, we will be a good neighbour, and then he leaves the room. So we're left to interpret that. So I can repeat that because it's come from the chief executive. We will be good neighbours, and whether that's taking part in these sort of things, outside of work, whatever it is, we will strive to do that. And it's a 60-year business plan. We can't just say 5 years' time, Harlow's okay, it's good, but actually now we want to go somewhere else. It's a 60-year business plan, and we will only get one go at this, which is why we're determined to make it such a success. So, as I say, I hope that gives you an idea of the scale and the opportunities and what we want to do as well. But I would say, and then it doesn't apply to some of the adults, but there is no reason at all why the youngsters here today, why any of them couldn't come and work for us at some stage. I don't say that lightly, but if we can work with you, that's what we want to do. We want to create those opportunities so every single youngster in here and beyond, that somehow, something, that we can work together to make sure that they have that. So it's an honour. It really is an honour for me to be here. Celebrating success is a wonderful thing. It doesn't happen enough. I think we're too quick to criticise and too slow to praise a lot of the time. So it really is. I'm privileged to be here. Thank you for welcoming me as well. Thank you.